We are here at the John Paul Jones Monument in Washington, D.C. Right over there is the Jefferson Memorial, and right there is the Washington Memorial. And I'm going to extend my brand from health IT workflow into reading wiki pages of monuments and heroes here in D.C. So thank you, two people. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to flip it around. All right, I'm flipping it around. Hello. You got to tap it twice. Well, okay, I'm about to flip it around. Okay, anyway, let me just tell you about John Paul Jones here. First of all, that is John Paul Jones. And he was Scottish. And he was actually quite a scallywag, quite an interesting fellow. I just read his Wikipedia page. And underneath his monument right here is engraved 1747, 1792, and first to compel foreign man of war to strike colors to the stars and stripes. So basically, he, along with Barry, is considered to be the father of the American Navy. And my dad was in nuclear subs for 20 years, so he'd be a familiar name. I'm going to walk down here a little further so you can kind of see a bit more of the monument. Like I said, over here is the Jefferson Memorial, right there. And let me tell you a little bit about John Paul Jones. John Paul Jones, his name was John Paul, a good Scottish name, and but he ran into trouble with the law, so he changed his name and he fled to the U.S., or he fled to actually not to the United States, to the colonies, anyway. He led an interesting life. He feuded with folks and eventually was given a series of ships, and then he sailed off the coast of Ireland and England, and he raided and gathered military stores and basically caused demoralization in the competition. After the Revolutionary War, he actually became an admiral in the Russian Navy. So isn't that interesting? We're going to walk around and look a little bit of the detail here. And on my other hand, I have his Wikipedia page. And so battles. He fought in the American Revolutionary War, battled Nassau down in the Bahamas, the Caribbean. And that's when they raided, I believe it was British stores looking for additional armaments and supplies. The Battle of Block Island, Irish North Sea Campaign, the Battle of Flamborough Head, and this is kind of interesting here. There's a little bit of a detail on this side right here, and we see, let me zoom in here a little bit. So there is the Stars and Stripes, and he's bringing them up. I'm looking at some detail here. In life, he honored the flag. In death, the flag shall honor him. And he's during one battle, that back then they talked about striking the colors. You struck the colors if you lost a battle. And so he lost a battle with a British ship, and so there was some confused reply, and he said something like, I'll sink before I strike the colors. So, and then in fact, the British tried to board, and he fought them off. And so, colorful fellow. And let's see, down at the bottom, here's his most famous thing that he said, and that's right up here. I don't know if you can see it on Periscope, and that's great. Surrender. I have not yet begun to fight. So, surrender, question mark. I have not yet begun to fight, exclamation mark. Okay, so this is quite a nice little memorial here. He is actually, I believe, in fact, I remember reading this because I just read the Wikipedia page, but this gentleman, John Paul Jones, there have been actually a lot of movies about him, and Good old John Paul Jones died in France of syphilis. And he was, years later, about I think it was 1905, some history buffs finally tracked down his burial. They basically preserved his body in alcohol, which is probably pretty appropriate. And he now lies kind of in state in a very fancy sort of sarcophagus at Annapolis, at the Naval Academy, which I've not actually been to a tour of the Naval Academy, but we go to Annapolis frequently. Anyway, we're here. We're on a kind of a little triangle. You can see the tour buses going by, and we've got our bicycles right over here. And earlier I did a Periscope, of a half-hour-long Periscope of walking through the Washington Memorial, which is right there. And we've been sitting right here, watching a series of folks visit this monument to John Paul Jones. And I decided to read about him. And thank you very much to the couple of people that watch this. And I think this is fun. I enjoy this. I think I'm going to shoot some more of these.